I don't care what business you're in. Hi, my name is Paul Davis. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm the president of a company called NextStep Marketing, and we install marketing systems for small to mid-sized businesses. I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana. Went to high school there and then graduated and went to college at Houston Baptist University in Houston, Texas. I got a degree in political science and sociology, and after that, shortly after that, I got into the sales game. Sold products for Pennzoil, and then I moved from that to being in the pharmaceutical medical space. Worked for a company called U.S. Surgical. Then I went on to be at Mylan Pharmaceuticals, where I became director of sales. I was there 16 and a half years. After that, I went to McKesson, where I was vice president of sales and marketing for McKesson for their contract packaging group here in Concord, North Carolina, which is what brought me here. And then I also, after that, became a director of sales for a packaging company called Alcan Packaging. I got my MBA in marketing several years ago and decided that when the time was right and the space was right, it was going to be a great opportunity for me to jump out and try some of my skills and really take some of my educational aspects and some of my business experience, tie them all together to help companies disrupt the market space. I always wanted to go into sales, so my first actual sales job was selling men's suits when I was 14. And I knew at that point everybody else wanted to go be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever the case may be, and I always wanted to be in sales. I was good at sales, I liked people, so that's kind of where I started moving down my path towards sales and marketing. So early on I began to develop my own programs as I went forward, and that made me successful. For example, when I was at Mylan, I was started off as a rep. A year and a half later, I was East Coast Regional Manager. A year and a half later, I was Director of Sales. So I kind of moved up my path because I was able to really focus on what my customers' needs were, come up with a strategy, and really execute that strategy through my tactics to help improve my business. And that's kind of how I got started in it. Well, you know, I've started NextStep back in 2007, was its first year in business. And one of the things I wanted with NextStep is when I was at meetings and working in the corporate world, we always sat down and set agendas, set goals, set plans. But then the question is, people kept coming back to me and saying, hey, Paul, what's the next step? How are we going to move our business to the next step? How are we going to make our quota for next year? And what are the steps that are required? So naturally, I kind of sat back and thought about it. You know, life is a series of steps. Business growth is a series of steps. So I came back and sat down with the name NextStep because people were always asking me, how do we get to the next step? When it really breaks down to the business owner, marketing is simply 3 words: building know, like, and trust. You have to build know with your clients, like with your clients, and trust with your clients or potential customers. For example, let's talk a little bit about know. Know is how do you get your information out there? So different ways that you can do that. One might be through the web, one might be through advertisement, one might be through a blog. So there's a variety of ways of building know. The second one is like. In order to get to like, one of the best things you can use is good content, because people will begin to read or find out that your information you're providing is good. So as a result, they begin to like what you have and like what you're doing and like the information you're providing. And then the last thing is trust, and trust is really important, and that can come from a variety of things, because you can have no like. If you don't have trust, you're not getting anywhere. So really, trust comes about through good educational content, trust comes out through endorsements, trust comes out through testimonials, and trust comes out through delivering to your clients or potential customers what you promised them you're going to do. So one of the things that differentiates me is I believe in strategy before tactics. And so that's one of the things we do with our clients up front, is we define what the strategy is going to be. And then we work across the scope of building know, like, and trust with our clients. And if you do it right, know, like, and trust turns into try, buy, repeat, refer. So that's really some of the core differences between me and the others in the market space, is I really focus on developing an entire system and an entire program, so that in 6 months, when we're done working together, because most of my engagements last 6 to 9 months, when we're done working with those engagements, I've installed a system for you. I think it's important that you get buy-in from your family. Your family may have to go through some sacrifices as they move down a path when you start a small business. So I think it's really critical to get that buy-in from your family because they can help you and support you as you move down your path. I think the other thing you need to understand, you got to have some courage. You can't be a sissy to get into this game. I think a lot of folks think it looks glamorous and it looks easy and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot of hard work, and you've got to be willing to, suck it up and sacrifice and push your plan down the path. I get up every day and I go work really hard at what I do. I like what I do. So, and I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm good at what I do. So as a result, what gives me personal pleasure from the business standpoint of view is that I've delivered good products, services, and done my job in a professional manner to help my clients win and be successful.